So welcome to day 14 of the AWS tutorial where we are learning about the DevOps journey, and particularly we are learning about the AWS cloud where we are talking about the different AWS services. Correct? So till now we have covered how to set up your free AWS account, how to get started with the AWS cloud, why cloud came into the picture, what were the challenges before the cloud. Correct. And to start, we have talked about AWS EC2 instance where we have covered your different kind of instance classes, different kind of instance types, different kind of IP addresses, private, public, elastic IP address. We have talked about elastic block storage. We have talked about launch template, auto scaling group, user data, your path-based routing, application load balancer, network load balancer, and the different properties. Also, we have talked about IAM role policy and the groups and the users. Correct. Today, we are going to start with AWS VPC. That's the one of the main component of the networking where your all AWS services, maximum AWS services lies within the VPC only. VPC, when we say, that means virtual private cloud. So within the cloud, it's a sub area. So let's go with the simple explanation, a very simple example which can be very much helpful for you to understand. So let's suppose there are these five members. Actor 1, when we say the actor 1, just suppose that it's a random member. So there is a one member from the UP, there is a second member from the Mumbai, there is a third member from the Kashmir, there is a fourth member from the Andhra, and the fifth member is from the Bihar. They all are looking for a job. They all are looking for a job from the different location. They all have received a job opportunity from Delhi NCR. That's your metro city, correct? And that's the capital of India as well, correct? Our country. So they all are looking for a job. They all got a job within the Delhi NCR. It might be your Gurgaon, it might be your Noida or anywhere, or it might be in Delhi. Correct? They got a job. Now they have to get into here in Delhi NCR. They have to work. It's not work from home, correct? Either it's a hybrid mode or your work from office, the new one, correct? The new culture. It might be a hybrid or work from office. It's not COVID call, so no work from home. They all have to come to here, Delhi NCR. So what's the basic thing? They have to reside here, then they can perform their job here. They can perform their duty. They can get into the office on the daily basis. Correct. That's the simple thing. Now, what does that mean? If you relate this with the cloud perspective, this is the on-prem time. Correct. When you had to purchase the infrastructure, then you had to run the application. So you had to actually purchase. So if there were no cloud, if there were no rental systems available in the, Delhi NCR, what this UP member will have to do? He will have to come. He or she will have to come to this particular place. He or she will have to purchase a place, and he will have to reside here. Same goes for the Kashmir member as well, for the Andhra member as well, for the Bihar member as well, for the member as well. He will have to come to this particular place. He or she will have to purchase a house or purchase a plot, and he will have to be here for the permanent time. Correct? But this is not the efficient things. You cannot purchase everywhere. Today you are in Delhi NCR, tomorrow you will be in some another city, in the Hyderabad, in the Mumbai, in the Pune, in the UK or somewhere else. Correct. So you cannot go everywhere and you can purchase a land, you can build your house and you stay there. You cannot do this. Correct. So out of these five members, one of the wise member, you can say the UP wala wise man. Correct. So the UP wala wise man thought that why don't I purchase a particular land in this Delhi NCR region here, and I will build a house and I will sell to these people. Correct? You can correlate with cloud vendor. We will come to the cloud perspective as well. Let's go with the example. Here, everyone has to come to Delhi NCR. They had to purchase their own house and they had to live. Correct? Now, apart from that, because they had to move from one place to another place, this Mumbai person has to come here. He has to look for the particular place. He has to build the house. Then he has to live. So it's a long process to be in Delhi NCR. Correct? You purchase, you look for the property, you purchase that, you build your house, then you come here and start living. Now this UPWala wise man thought that I will just give the comfort to these people. I will purchase a land and I will build the houses for all of them, and then I will start selling these houses to these people, or start providing rental system here. I will build the house and I will start providing the rental. Correct. So this Kashmir people will come, it will rent a house and it will start living. This Andhra people will come here in NCR, it will rent this house and it will start living. Same goes for the Haryana people, Punjab people and Bihar people as well. They will come here, they will rent a house and they will start living, and they will perform their job here for 2 years, 3 years, for the time duration they want to live. Correct. And when once they want to go back, they can just end their rental system, they will go back to their hometown, and this place can be rented back to the someone else. Correct. But there was an issue here. When you have purchased a house, you all are living together, so there is no security till now here. Correct. So there are different houses. This Kashmir people is living, this Andhra people is living, Bihar people is living, Punjab people is living, and the Haryana people is living. So right now there is no security, everyone is living together. So just suppose that one of the member from one of the guest for Andhra member is coming, the relative of this member is coming. All the houses are built within this particular block. So if the guest is not aware about this particular member house, he can go to the Haryana member house, he can go to the Kashmir member house, he can move anywhere, because the guest who is coming is not aware of the route. Correct. Where he has to go or where she has to go for this particular Andhra member. Correct. So there is no security kind of a stuff here. Now the picture got changed. Now the UP wala wise man, rather than just building a house in 50 acres land, he thought of, I will build a society. The society, the high-rise society, which is the new concepts in the market. Correct. He just thought of that. What did he do? He built a society of 25 floors with multiple flats, like 4 flat on one floor. That's that kind of construction he has made, the UP wala member. Correct. Now still the people are from Punjab, Telangana, Goa, Kerala, MP. Correct. These are the 5 states now. We are considering all the states maximum. Kashmir, Andhra, we are. So you might not. You should not think in a way that I am just considering few states only. There are multiple states I am considering for my examples. Correct. So now there are Punjab people, Telangana people, MP people, Kerala people, and Goa people as well. The UP wala wise man has built a society with 25 floors with multiple towers and multiple flats on one floor. Now, when any of the guest is coming for this MP member, correct? This MP member house is there, or the flat is there in this particular tower. If any of the guest comes, he has to go from the guard. Correct. He will meet to the guard. He will tell that I have to go to this Punjab people house, or Telangana people house, or the Kerala people house, or the Goa people house. Correct. The guest will tell to this guard. This guard will now directs you that you have to get into this first block, or the second flat, or the third flat, or the fourth flat. So whatever the request you will make to this guard that I have to go to this particular flat, you will be directed to that flat only. Correct. You cannot go anywhere else. Correct. And the same, the flat owner will be notified that your one of the guest has come to meet you. So you will be notified by the for the guest, and guest will be notified for your particular flat. So you will directly move there, and flat owner can directly communicate with that guest. So no one else will be interfered here, no one else will be disturbed here. Correct. So that's the security stuff has been implemented here, so no one is now disturbed. Same goes for your cloud. So now let's understand the same example from the cloud perspective. Correct. So till now you have understood that how things worked from on-prem to cloud. So now let's see the cloud perspective. Earlier, when there was no cloud, everyone, the e-commerce application, like just suppose these are the 5 businesses rather than UP business, Mumbai business, Kashmir business, Andhra business, Bihar business. So these are the 5 people who are trying to launch their businesses. Correct. He has gone to the market, purchased few infrastructure, and he started running his application. Correct. Everyone has to come to the market. They had to purchase their own infrastructure. They start using infrastructure, and they were running the application. Now, few of the organizations thought of why everyone has to purchase everything. Correct? I will purchase the cloud infrastructure. I will build that infrastructure. I will build the data center, and I will start renting system. Correct? I will start renting system. People will come to me. They will utilize my infrastructure. They will provide me the rent for that. Kashmir people, Kashmir businessman will come to this particular place. He will just rent the infrastructure, correct? The built houses. He will just rent the infrastructure in terms of cloud, correct? He will rent and he will utilize. He will run applications. He will run his business. Once he is done with the businesses, he can release the infrastructure that can be now rented for someone else, correct? So that's how your multiple cloud vendors came into the picture. Your AWS as a cloud, your GCP as a cloud, Azure as a cloud, correct? So Microsoft, your AWS, then Oracle, then IBM, multiple cloud vendors came into the picture. They started renting system, correct? But the security was missing here. So now when you have the cloud, like we are talking multiple times about the AWS cloud. So within the AWS cloud, you have a one account. Within one account, you you can have multiple VPCs now. So these smaller blocks are kind of VPC. So just suppose this is one of the AWS account. Within this AWS account, you have multiple VPC. That means multiple particular private areas. Within that you can perform your actions accordingly, correct? So if any of the request is coming, any of the thing is coming, they had to go from the guard. That means some kind of roles or permission will be there to log in into your AWS account. It will be accessed through access key, secret access key, or your management account role, whatever the kind of permission suits you have created here. So then you will be able to log in into this AWS account. Once you are in the AWS account, you have different regions. You have AP South 1 Mumbai region, you have US 2 London region, you have US East 1 North Virginia region. There are different regions. Within the different regions, there are VPCs. Correct? You can launch VPC A, VPC B, VPC C, and so on. For each VPC, there will be some security. There will be some guard associated with that VPC. Correct? If you are allowed to get into that VPC, you will be getting into that VPC, you will perform the action and you can come out, correct? So every VPC will have some guard. So this is how the cloud came into the picture here. It has started renting system. Then the cloud provided you one AWS account. While we are talking about the AWS, same goes for GCP and Azure as well, and other cloud providers as well. You have one account for in that particular cloud. Within that cloud, you have multiple VPC. That means your private networking area. Within that private networking area, there will be some security stuffs through which you can get into that particular area and you can perform the actions. Now let's come to the real picture of the AWS. Here you have a user, correct? This is the VPC block. The bigger one is the VPC block. If you have to get into the VPC from the external world, from the internet side, internet gateway should be associated with this VPC. This internet gateway will only allow any request which is coming from the internet to this VPC. It's just a high level overview how your security stuffs, how your VPC looks like, correct? So any request which is coming from the outside, that has to go from the internet gateway. This internet gateway will be the part of some of the route tables. So just suppose this internet gateway is associated with one of the route tables. So now with the help of internet gateway, you have get into the VPC, correct? You have to go up to the server here, public EC2 or private EC2, correct? Your application is running over here on the EC2 side, either on private EC2 or on the private public EC2. You have to go up to the server when you are making any www.abc.com, that kind of request that is coming from the internet. It has to go up to the EC2 machine. So how your traffic will go? It is coming from the outside, so it will go through the internet gateway. Internet gateway is attached with one of the VPC, so it will get into that VPC. From the internet gateway, this internet gateway will be part of the sum of the route table. It will go to the route table. This route table will have association with the subnets, public subnet, private subnet, and the different kind of subnets. Based on the request from where it is coming, on which IP address it has to go, it will route your traffic to the subnets, either to this subnet, public subnet one or private subnet one, based on the configuration what you have configured, correct, and based on the request which is coming. But before getting it to the subnet, it will go through the NSCL. So this is kind of the first level of guard within the VPC. So this NSCL will now check whether this particular request which is coming from the route table, whether it is allowed to go into this subnet or in the second subnet. It will check, the NSCL will check here. Based on that, it will allow to get the request into this subnet or this subnet, the second one. The request will go up from the subnet to your, from NSCL to your subnet, correct? I just suppose that it has come to this first one. Now, before getting into the public EC2 machine, then public EC2 machine, second guard is here. That will be called as security group. Security group will check whether this request is allowed to get onto the server or it's not allowed. If it's allowed, it will go to the server, and the same request can come outside as well, and it can come to the internet here. If it's not allowed, it will be just denied over here and your request will be blocked here, correct? So as if you can see, to get into the VPC, the first layer of access is internet gateway, then it will come to the route table. From the route table, it will be decided in which subnet it has to go. But before getting into the subnet, NSCL will check whether it's allowed to get into that or not. If NSCL approve that it can be allowed, it will go. If NSCL does not approve, it will be blocked here only. The request will be blocked over here only. It will not go anywhere within the VPC. If NSCL approves that request can go, it will come here. Once the NSCL has approved, the request will come to up to subnet only. After the subnet, security group will check whether it is allowed to get into the server or not. If it's allowed, it will go up to the server. So one major question comes from here as well. Where does NSCL work? Where does security group as well? Your security groups work as a guard system for your server, for your EC2 instances, while your NSCL works as a guard for subnet, correct? So NSCL operates on the subnet level, security group works on your server level, correct? Security group is stateful. That means it allows all inbound and outbound. Whatever the request you allow as a inbound, that will be auto accepted as outbound. That request can go outside. While NSCL supports stateless. Whatever you configure to get into that subnet, it should be allowed as outbound as well. That means that request can should come outside as well. So in NSCL you have to define inbound and outbound both, while in the security group you don't have, you have to define only inbound rules. Outbound rules it remembers automatically. That means it's stateful. So this is the high level of overview of your VPC. How does VPC works? What is the VPC? Why? How VPC helps? What's the rental system for the VPC here? Correct. That you can understand. So I hope I'm able to explain how your VPC works, how security groups, how NSCL works on a very high level. Correct. So in next video we will be talking more into the demo side on the AWS console, how your VPC can be created, how your different route tables IGW can be created, how one of the public EC2 instance can be launched within this VPC, and we will talk about the subnets and other details. So let's meet in the next video with the details. Till the time you can subscribe the channel. I hope you like the videos as well, and if you are liking this video, you are good with this content, you can hit the subscribe button, and that will be helpful for me to create the content as well. So till the time, thank you, bye bye.